While Mark Carney and the Liberal Party struggle to get a deal finalized with Donald Trump, the European Union, in an hour, just agreed to a historic, groundbreaking deal.
I think it's great that we made a deal today instead of playing games and maybe not making a deal at all. I think it's, I'm going to let you say, but I think it's the biggest deal ever made. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
We have a deal. We have a trade deal between the two largest economies in the world. And it's a big deal. It's a huge deal. It will bring stability. It will bring predictability. That's very important for our businesses on both sides of the Atlantic. It's 15% tariffs across the board, all inclusive.
Journalist Nick Harper is in Washington and following this story. So, Nick, the news just breaking moments ago. What do we know about this deal so far?
Yeah, Natasha, well, we certainly know that it got done very, very quickly. They were really just in the room for about an hour or so before they came out with the news that a deal had been struck. And as we heard there from the US president, they are billing this as the largest deal ever done.
The European Union was able to talk down the percentage by half. Mark Carney and the Liberals have been negotiating for 3+ months now, and nothing has come from it. As a matter of fact, Trump keeps pushing the deadline further back so they can actually come to an agreement that's good for both sides. But the Liberals just simply are not showing up, and they don't care. We heard Trump also say that we're not even in discussions with Canada right now. Instead of going to the table and trying to negotiate a lower percentage, it looks like the Liberals are just going to take the flat out rate that they initially imposed. We've seen manufacturers, factories, mills across the board, layoffs, hundreds of workers, furniture stores closed down. This is not what fighting for Canadians looks like. If these exact same percentages are to stay, more manufacturers are going to shut down. Companies are going to want to move to any other country that got a better deal than what we did here in Canada. On top of the fact, they'll move to a country that simply doesn't have to pay the industrial carbon tax.
In 2024, last year, about $2 trillion of trade was done between the European Union and the United States. The US now getting access to the 27-member bloc of the EU. We're told that they are all opening up to US trade. Just to run through some of the details, it'll be a 15% tariff across the board on EU goods entering the United States. So that is lower than the threatened 30%, but certainly higher than the desired 0% that the Europeans were pushing for.
And the funniest part about all of this, Mark Carney, time and time again, has said, we are going to diversify our trade. We're going to look elsewhere. We're going to run to the European Union and attempt to build greater ties with them. Well, would you look at what the European Union just did? The simple fact of the matter is, you can't just run away from the United States, and that's what we are seeing from the Liberal Party. The US and EU were able to strike and finalize a deal within or just over an hour. That speaks volumes about the Liberal Party and their ability to actually negotiate.
A couple of exclusions. Pharmaceuticals are not covered in this deal, and steel and aluminum coming from the European Union will remain at a 50% tariff rate. On top of that, we're told that the EU will purchase US military equipment. It'll buy about $150 billion in US energy and make $600 billion worth of investments in the United States. As we heard from Ursula von der Leyen, she is pleased with this. She says it will bring stability and predictability. But she was asked what had the US given up in all of this. Essentially, were there concessions put on the table by Washington? She seemed to dodge that question, instead saying that we started from a point of imbalance and we hit a point where we were able to rebalance. The suggestion being that this is perhaps more of a win for the United States than it is for the European Union. So,
well, obviously it's going to be more of a win for the United States. Donald Trump isn't going to negotiate a deal that doesn't benefit them. And really what it all comes down to at the end of the day is Carney claimed he was the man who was able to negotiate a deal and deal with Donald Trump as a person. we're seeing not just the exact opposite, but holy Christ, he has ran away from the table. They aren't even in talks anymore. And it looks like we're just going to take the flat out rate that was initially imposed. And I can only assume in the future, more layoffs, more job closures, more companies debating if they should actually remain in Canada. And the term has just begun. We still have 3-4 more years of this. Anyway, I'd like to know what you think down in the comment section below. Hit that like button, hit that sub button if you are new, and thank you very much for watching.